Alright YouTube, what is going on? My name is Bigfoot. Welcome back to another episode of my Transport Fever series here on White Valley. In today's episode, we have started off with a few changes, so let me go ahead and tell you about them. The first is in the town of Maidstone. I've gone ahead and changed the train station just so I can see a little bit better what is going on. This train station as well was very much running at a high capacity, so I have gone ahead and made some improvements there. On top of that, I've gone ahead and upgraded the Kendal to Maidstone service. I've put much larger trains on, up to 168 actually. They used to be about, must have been about maybe 72 seaters I think on this train, so just one, or just like 3 of these carriages, but now there's 9 of the carriages, so those trains should be working a lot better. For those who don't know, this is Maidstone, then it goes via Coburn and then down to this place called Kendal, which we've not been in a long time, but it's grown quite well. But very much, that train line just needed major upgrades. How do those trucks need upgraded already? I mean, to be fair, they're probably some of the first to get the new trucks. Anyway, we'll go ahead and deal with that another time though, because we're actually going to deal with old vehicles very shortly. At the end of the last episode though, we're going ahead and getting ready to open up this new railway line from Telscom all the way over to Chorley here, which Chorley has very much become a mega train station. However, before that happened, we needed to go ahead and make some more changes, and that's what I've done. As we can see here as well, we need to do some work on this town of Chorley, this train station, and some of the lines around it, because the train types are just not quite right at all, but we'll do that later on. All I needed to do though for this new line to open up is, as we're connecting 2 new towns up, they needed trams to get people to the station, and I've gone ahead and partially done the tram routes. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to build the trams right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and get things underway here. So let's start off with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Basically this is just going to be a figure of 8 here in the town of... is this Somerton? I couldn't tell you, to be honest. So I mean, that's it. It's such a basic route. You can stop there as well, actually. So it's got 15 stops. I feel they're all very close together, mind you. What is this? This is the town of Somerton, which is good. So again, a very small village for now, but it will do the wonder of good for this town. And I think because it's on a flat surface and we'll get quite a good train, I think this could be quite a popular route. So this is going to be Summer and then Tun. So that's good to go there. So that's the first tram set up. So let me go ahead and get a tram depot in here. Let's jump into our depots, jump into the trams, rotate you around, and let's stick you in here. Now with regards to this town, I really don't think we're going to get too much service at all, so we're going to start off with just 4 T1s for the time being. So we'll go ahead and get you guys onto here. So this is TR, and we're in the town of Somerton. And there we go. I probably spelt Somerton wrong, actually. Somerton, I think, yeah, I put Somerton, not Somerton. Somerton, like that. There we go. Alright, so that's perfect. So that tram route is good to go. So now all I need to do is go ahead and do the same up here in Dedham. Again, I pre-laid the stops out. Not as many. This town's a lot more compact, whereas... I don't know, Somerton just seemed to be spread out. I do think this village is starting off being slightly bigger though, which is a good thing. So let me go ahead and jump into here. We're gonna go ahead and do the exact same sort of thing. So from the station, gonna leave the station and then make our way up through the town. So we'll stop in Green Lane, stop at Kingsway, come up to Alexander Road, continue around the block, and then calling it Kingsway. So Kingsway is the only stop in this whole town and on this route, which the tram stops at both sides, which is quite interesting. So this is going to be the TR, and this is the town of Dedham. And as we can see, that is good to go. So the final thing is just putting some trams on. I'm expecting quite a bit of growth with this town. Again, just because I think that it is on the flat, there is already some, I mean, fair density. It's not too bad. As we can see, there's a lot of 3 people density here, which is nice to see. So we can go ahead and buy trams. We're going to do the exact same, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll go ahead and get this onto the TR Dedham like so. So that now means that we've got the infrastructure to go ahead, the line's already built, we've done platform assignments, We might have even assigned a line. We have actually even done that step, so all we need to do now is go ahead and get some trains on the go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the engine house up here at Dedham, I think. That's the best bet, so that's not what I asked for at all. Let's go for something like that, which is good. Now I want to go ahead and jump into trains. Let's go into train depots, engine houses, locomotive house, whatever you want to call it. I've called it various things, I guess you could say, under the bus. Now let's jump in for electrical. Now because this has got two towns which it doesn't currently really aren't connected up, I'm going to go for these trains here. Now these are the classics, which I've used very much, and I think they could be all used on 2 or 3 different routes right now actually. These are the SNCF. I think it's to do maybe the French National Rail Carrier, though I'm not at all sure what letters stand for. Class Z8100, I'm sure it's called the 8100 or something along those lines, but it's got a really good capacity for the amount you pay per year, which is good. Now they don't go the fastest arguably, but 5 of these on this line should hopefully go ahead and do the trick. So let's get those onto the Chorley to Telscombe, and that should hopefully go ahead and kickstart things. So with regards to that, that is some goods on the go there. What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump into Chorley, because this is the town I want to go ahead and tackle, because there's just 2 train routes that come through here, but they're just so not good. They're not doing the best, and it's not because of their stops, it's because of their train types. That's the real issue here. So as we can see here, the Bottery to Chorley, it's doing awful, and why is that? Well, one, the trains are incredibly empty in fact, which isn't good at all. Not liking that. I'm not really at all sure why that is. And these trains as well that this line is running do cost a lot of money to go ahead and upkeep, so instead of losing 13 million every single time, what we're going to do is not lose 13 million in balance. I want to go ahead and try and break this route even if possible. So if we look at this current train that we've got on, it is... where are we? It's one of these ones here, one of the Stadler Giruno trains, and it's got a running cost of 5 million per year. Whereas if we go ahead and go for something much smaller, again I'm thinking maybe the same kind of train, or maybe even something smaller than these. We could go maybe for... I don't know. I think we're actually going to go for these guys again, because they're just so good, and I know they're good. So we're going to go ahead and change the train type. We're going to go ahead and put that to on, and we're going to replace now. So we'll come back, we'll monitor this route, but I just want to see... wait, how much capacity have you guys got? You should only have 144, yeah, so that's good. So let me go ahead and re-put automatic train on, so add you, automatic replacement on. So that's that sorted. So a much lower running cost, it should be able to go ahead, and they do carry, I think, slightly more people as well, so we might as well. Again, the top speed isn't going to be there, but for this sort of track, it should do not too bad at all. So as we see here, there's going to be a change. This train currently has 32 people on it, but now it's going to change to one of these French trains, the Z8100s, which is interesting. Should also be much shorter. These trains are incredibly long. Yeah, drastically shorter. It's only 4 carriages, these trains actually. And these reminds me a little bit of trains that I've been on the continent actually in Italy. So I don't know if they're kind of maybe the same, or... I couldn't really tell you. I mean, I'm a little bit into trains. I am into trains a lot, but I don't know a lot about numbers or models or anything like that. Not that into trains, if you know what I mean. I do very much enjoy going to train stations, looking over bridges, looking at all the tracks, stuff like that, but anything a little bit more than that, I don't know. It's something which I'm starting to enjoy more, especially with this game, but outside of that, not really. Okay, so now the final issue is the Burnham to Hampstead, because this is just chock-a-block. So we've got lots of trains on here. It's not the problem of the actual train. I think the train's fine. I think we just need more trains on the track. That's really what we need. So let me go ahead and find the engine house for this track. Now it's either going to be at one end or the other. We're going to go ahead and sort out Burnham and give Burnham some love in a moment too, because it's an absolute mess. Is there an engine house at this end? There might have been previously actually, but there is no longer right now. What we're going to do is we are just going to build an engine house at this end, temporarily anyway. So we'll go ahead and have our branch off there like so. Let's go for another engine house, which will stick there. And I'm just going to basically take the trains that we've currently got on this route and just add 2 more. So they are these trains here, the RE450, and they're the 198 seaters, and then they're in light blue. So I'm going to add 2 more of these onto the routes, which I think should hopefully go ahead and help out the overcrowding. The trains as well, I think the frequency was at 3 minutes, it's going to be down now to under 2, which is good. So hopefully this will make a difference, because very much I imagine a lot of the people that are waiting here... Okay, there's actually only 93 oddly, but there's a train just pulled out, but it's full, so I should be able to clear those numbers quite easily, but I'm not, unfortunately. How is our HST doing? This is something which interests me, because I don't know how profitable it actually is. I don't think it is very profitable, which is problematic. Got a lot of people want to go from Hampstead to Portish Head, which is interesting though. A lot of people, and it's using, again, these trains, which aren't too bad, but again, I just don't think you have the population. The problem is on this game right now, we're suffering from large overcrowding. As we can see, Botry only gets 1 service, but it's a bit chock-a-block, so we might need to go ahead, and I think we shall upgrade these trains while we're at it as well. So we're looking for the Hampstead to Portish Heads, which, as we can see, I mean, it's got a good 5 trains on it, but they can only carry 138 people. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to upgrade you guys, and we're going to go for Stadler Flirts. This route's losing money as well, so there's more justification for upgrading this route. So Stadler Flirts, top speed of 124 compared to, I mean, they're the exact same, so 124, 124, but this old train we've got, the Stadler Kiss, can only carry 138 passengers, whereas we've got the Stadler Flirt here being able to carry a whopping 225. So we'll go for automatic replacement, we'll put you onto on, and we'll go ahead and get you running there. This train station, too overcrowded, it's got over 300 people waiting, so I think it is very important that we get this upgrade. As we can see, this train's coming in, it's not full, but it'll quite easily be full because there's over 200 people wanting to go to Hampstead. But the good thing is this train is about to upgrade once it empties. So as we can see, similar length, it looks like it's got 5 carriages, but it is... Why are you not full? There's people ready to go to Hampstead. Not really at all sure why you didn't fill up there, maybe it's just because it got replaced. I'm unsure there. This train's also still one of the old trains as well, so we'll come back to this route again and see how it does, but that should hopefully make a bit of a difference on that route. How are we doing over here now? Hopefully things should start to lower a little bit. Again, this train coming in, it is quite full, but hopefully these additional 2 trains will make some difference. A lot of people got off there, but then the train did fill up again, so it's sort of a bit of a lose-lose, win-win. Right, okay, so I think we're doing good here anyway, and we've also got our new trains on the go as well, which is nice to see. You're only carrying 17 people, so I'm much more optimistic that that train will make a profit. And we're also starting to see some passengers move around the town of Derham. How many people have you got on you? Right, that's not good in the slightest, is it? And then if we come along here, there is some people waiting. How many people are on you? 4. Right, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and stop you and just go ahead and build up a little bit more of a gap. That's what I'd like to do, just so the trains aren't all barged together, if you will. Again, just going ahead and spreading the load, because this is a long line. That's why I put 5 trains onto it. It's a long line. We'll go ahead and also stop you. We'll go ahead and restart the other one. Again, just try to spread these out. Is there another train behind? Currently no right now. So yeah, there's big problems with spacing. That's what I need to go ahead and deal with here. So we'll go ahead and give you a wee bit longer. We'll wait for this next train to come along and pass you. How about that? So we'll need to let the game just run a little bit faster. I wonder how empty these trams are. 4 people. I mean, they're starting to get used, and these towns are so small that I'd just be glad to see them really getting going. So that other train's passing. You must be the lead train, and you've only got 6 people, so That's kind of worrying. In saying that, if you do want to go from Telscombe to Chorley, you would just go via, you take an indirect train, go via Burnham because it's faster, and then switch there. Okay, so arriving into this town of Burnham, Burnham is very, very outdated indeed. As we can see, 100 people are waiting on the tram. There is quite a lot of people, so we need to go ahead and make some changes to the tram route. I also want to change this train station quite drastically because it is pretty hideous. Right, we need to slow things down. I feel the frame rate today is a bit choppy. I don't know why, I feel it's not that smooth. Very, very strange. It might be my computer, to be fair. I've got 1 or 2 applications open I probably shouldn't have. But even at that, it shouldn't be making that much of a difference. It's only Spotify and Steam. But let's get back to the game. So we need to change this route quite drastically now. Could Burnham support 2 trams? Quite possibly. It's got an extremely large population now, which is good to see. However, I'm thinking that we can get away with just the 1 for the time being, and just go ahead and modify this current route. So if we look at the route, this is the route here. Inefficient, not enough stops, doesn't serve enough of the town, so we'll go ahead and make that change. So right now it goes along here. I'm quite happy for it to go along here, but we're going to remove this station stop here because that's no longer a good idea to have at all. So we can go ahead and do that now actually, and we're just going to add a new stop just outside. Let me go ahead and add in the stop there. Now what we're going to do is, I'm happy to keep it to go along there, to be fair. That part of town doesn't concern me, it's more this left side of the town here which needs a change. So let me go into roads, large streets, bus lanes, yes, and electrical trams. And let's go ahead and see what we can build. So, going to build up here and destroy most of the housing, as we usually do. Then we're going to continue on up here. And this tram is going to come and serve the north of the town. So it's going to come right up here. Where's the turning circle going to be? We'll make a turning circle there. So that's going to be quite some tram extension on that side. And I will be quite happy for that. So that's going to serve the town much better. Currently, to keep this statistic in mind, it's at 41% goods transport line usage. Hopefully we can get that probably to 60 with these tram modifications. So let me go ahead and add in a new stop here. There'll be a lot of building coming back into this road. I'm not too worried about that. Have another stop over here. Then we're coming up into more houses again. So have a stop probably here and have a stop over here like so. So that works out nicely. So now we just need to go ahead and modify the old line and also sort out the trams. So let me go ahead and, I mean the trams are too small. These are Cobras or, no, they must be Mirages if they're 23-seaters. Cobras are 30-seaters, are they not? See, I think these are Mirages, which are only 23 seats. So we could really quite easily go ahead and upgrade to, because it's the one line in this large town, we possibly could go for something like Cobras. I would be tempted, but we'll go ahead and sort out the stops on the line and just see first of all. So we're going to go ahead and remove Lower Burnham there and Lower Burnham there. Then what I want to do after 2 is add in this stop here, and then after 8 I want to add in this stop there, which is good. Now after stop number 1 we're going to change things up. So after Chester Road we're going to start to come up here now, up to Green Lane, up to Manchester Road, up to Queen's Road, then you're going to come round Kingsway, and then you're going to come back down Stanley Road, then back to Queen's, back to Manchester, back to Green Lane, and then stop in at Chester Road again. So as we can see we're up to 19 stops, so the frequency is now going to be out of this world. The good thing is though, now we can delete that station there. So goodbye to that. That's a very, very like episode maybe 2 or 3. It's been there that long. Then I want to go ahead and update the trams on this route. So we're in the town of Burnham. So let me go ahead and, yeah, 4 trams. Pathetic. Losing so much money, it's unreal. And also, my guess would be the trams are really, really ancient as well. So what I'd like to do is, I'd like to do Cobras, though I'd be tempted to try Citadis for the time being, just because I'm feeling ambitious. So let's go ahead and make these changes. Let's go to automatic replacement on, and let's go replace now for a nifty 2 million. Then with that done, that's going to increase capacity, and we're already starting to see a few people queuing up this part of town, which is good. If we go into here, still at 41, so I'm guessing that's still to update, but we can add more trams in as well. I want to go ahead and check the frequency, so it's at 112 right now, which isn't good enough. So I would like to try and get that down to 60 as we typically do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy 3 Citadish trams. We're going to go ahead and put them onto the TR Burnham, and that's going to bring things down to 61 seconds, which is good. So I feel the town should do good with 7 trams going forwards, which would be nice to see. Gonna wait for this train to leave the train station as well, and then we're gonna go ahead and tidy this train station up. I mean, this junction here, for example, not very pretty at all, so I would like to sort that out. That's one of the many things. Good thing is to see that train is not leaving full, which is nice, because very much when we only had 4 trains on this line, which goes all the way around to Hampstead via Chorley, trains were leaving both ends full, so it meant that no one was ever leaving Chorley, and that was causing us a big issue. Right, let me go ahead and let's delete this station. We can also add a second road connection now as well, that the town has grown over this side. So let me also go ahead and cut back this connection there like so. We can actually go ahead and put in a different sort of station. We're going to go for a different type, but what I can do is only have 3 platforms here, because we only ever were using 3 platforms. So we want to go for 3 platforms, 320 meters in length, and let's go for high-speed track. Let's pivot you around, and you're going to go perfectly in there, which is... Now, you're not quite sitting how I want you to sit, though, are you? Sit up there, which is good, yep. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add in a second street connection. And select yes, which is exciting. Now we can go ahead and connect these 2 up there to there, though that's not the most elegant, and then we'll do from there to there, which is fine. Nice and easy access to the tram stop. Now we need to, first of all, go ahead and do connection into there, and a connection into there, which is fine. Now what I want to do is I want to have a nice piece of straight track which goes there, and now this is going to amalgamate. These lines are going to merge just like there, just beforehand, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab a... It's not a traffic light, but it's a signal is what it is. Why am I saying traffic light? It's a signal, Callum. And that should solve our problem. Why are you moaning? Because of what exactly? I think it's to do with the terminals here. So, we need the train line which goes to Hampstead to be in Terminal 3, and we need the yellow one to Hetton to be in 2. Am I right? No, actually, you 2 are the other way around, aren't you? Yeah, you are. So let me put you up to 1 and put the maroon line down to 2. For some reason you're still not happy, but you will be going forward. It's because I've not got you selected, so you aren't actually happy. So if we change your view and go into this view, you can see the alignment of all 3 lines now. So if we go ahead and play it once more, as we can see, things are looking that much better. So as we can see now, the train station has gone ahead and got back underway, which is great. The Burnham to Hetton train coming in is full, which is kind of worrying, but it is just a stop-to-stop. But a lot more people want to go to Hetton as well. So while we're working on capacities, we are going to go ahead and upgrade this. As we can see, this train coming in from Maidstone isn't full, which is nice. Then after this, we're going to start a massive project, which is quite exciting. I realise we've got quite a few different things going on right now, but we can go ahead and work on those. Right, so we've got, I mean, these, what's the capacity? Only 72. I mean, you've only got 25 on you. 2 and 25, so I feel the trains are maybe so old though that we're going to go ahead and get rid of these. We're going to go ahead and make more changes, and we're going to go for just the same train, but higher capacity, I believe. I think that would be for the best. Where are they? Why can I not see them? They are... Are they diesel? Oh, they are diesel. Okay, interesting. Right, so we're going to go for 108 seats. Would that be too little? You're 72. How many people are waiting at this station? 113. Right, what I want to do is we're going to go for 168, which is again extremely large. You've got a very high running cost per year though. Though we're going to go for it, we're going to take this gamble. So that now, as we can see, we've got 33 car trains together. We're going to go for a place now, and yes, for 60 million. So hopefully that should make a large difference. This train has no one on it. All of a sudden it can accommodate for a lot more people than it once did. And that's actually going to clear this backlog, which is good. Now, again, this has been built for the future, so hopefully we'll start to see a lot of empty seats on every single train going forwards. That would be nice. And we should start getting more people coming in anyway to the station with the improvement on the Burnham to Hampstead route. So the final thing I want to do in this is actually look at some stats, but in particular, there's two stats I want to look at. So I want to go ahead and look at towns, and I want to look at basically what town is the most popular. So my guesses, without looking, would be Hetton, Hampstead, those would be top two. So top 2 is Hetton and Hampstead, yep, then Chorley, interesting, then Coburn. So okay, some of those other ones do shock me. But I really want to flip it on its head, and I want to see really where towns are that I've not connected up to. Now I believe there's only 2 or 3 towns I've not connected up to now, which is over this part of the map. So it's Godalming, though I've been calling it something totally different, Fordwich. And I believe, have we connected up to everywhere else? Because we're connected by bus to Thaxted, we're connected by bus to Newton Abbot. I think it could just be 2 towns left now, actually, which is crazy. We've connected up with everything over here, everything in this corner. Then we've already connected up quite easily with everything over here, which is very, very nice. So I'm very happy with that. I am seeing some severe overcrowding over here, and I'm not at all sure why. The good thing is we still have the good old HST here, which is going to clear that massive backlog there. Going to take away that 380 passengers, which is good. Hopefully that'll fill up. Though, is that route even profitable? I don't know. That is one good question. So yeah, you're at 15 million, which kind of makes sense. Though you are full. And then the other routes here, it's doing exceptionally well now as well. Now it's got some Stadler flirts on it. It's doing amazingly well actually, but again, these trains are probably quite full. What I want to do though in the next episode to relieve this station is we're going to go ahead and we are going to build a line which goes from here and it goes over to the town of Bawtry, which will hopefully relieve Hampstead a little bit and relieve those 2 train routes, because it looks like trains are quite busy there. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this episode up here. So if you have enjoyed it, please leave a like, rate and subscribe. If you are new around here, we added 2 new towns into this episode. Hopefully they're doing okay. I think it's going to take a while for them to grow, just because they've been so disconnected. But hopefully we can maybe get some goods into them relatively shortly. One statistic, and one thing I just want to say before I wrap this up, is one statistic I'm going to alter in between this and the next episode. It was the other one. I wanted to look at... I was looking at the population of towns, but the other statistic I need to look at right now is the age of vehicles. So any vehicles that are in the red, which are quite a lot, I'm going to go ahead and replace and make sure they're sorted for going forward, because these routes are going to be extremely unprofitable just because they're high maintenance fees. And as well, I want to upgrade probably to a newer fleet, so that's what I'm going to do in between this and the next episode. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have enjoyed watching. As I said, please leave a like rating, follow me on Twitter, support me on Patreon, and that's all for this video. So thank you very much for watching. My name is Bigfoot, and I'm out.